Hello and welcome back to WarriorHeart Travels.
I'm Wes.
And I'm Erica. And we're here on Okie Dokie, a 46-foot
Bertram.
And so we're just going to do a recap of today's adventure, our first day doing the Great Loop from Kemah, Texas, which is just a little bit further from Galveston. So I'm going to let you talk about that.
So we woke up about 4:30. Tried to prep everything the night before. I checked all the oils, the fluids, all that kind of stuff. Tried to make sure that everything went as smooth as possible for today. And so we woke up about 4:30, got started out. Probably about 6:30. We pulled out of the.
Mm-mm.
No,
we left at 5:40 because remember Brian helped us and he had to leave.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it was about 5:40, pitch dark. Now, mind you, this is the first time since we've owned the boat that we've actually taken it out by ourselves without another captain with us. And the first time that we've taken it out with the dinghy on the back.
In the dark.
In the dark.
Yeah.
And so
now we've had now we're not done. We've had boats on the lake, and we've had some of them out in the dark, but never in the ICW or the
probably
the ocean.
Hindsight's probably not the smartest thing, but it worked. I mean, what could go wrong? So we some good dock friends of ours, Sarah and Brian, helped us get out. They casted us off, if you will, and we'll show you how we fixed up the dock lines and everything so that we could pull them off. And that's something that we had to learn that maybe somebody had showed before on one of the YouTube deals, but we had wrapped them around the cleats, and we'll show that at some point of how to get it off. But when we had somebody there to help us, but sometimes you don't have anybody there. So we got off about 5:40 in the morning, pitch dark. Couldn't see from the helm, which the helm is the where you drive the boat from down underneath. Couldn't see out the windows. Still haven't got the windshield wipers fixed. There was just the dew on the windshields on the inside and outside. So we went up to do it on the to drive from upstairs at the fly bridge. And we got out. Well, shortly I figured out that the steering wasn't working on the fly bridge. So now, I'll preface this with saying don't do as I do. Probably not the smartest thing, but I maneuvered the boat literally out of the dock where we have about 1.5 feet in front of us before we hit the other boats on the other deal, and about 6 inches behind where I had to pivot to keep the dinghy from hitting the dock pier. So we've maneuvered that out with just the engines and no steering with the rudder. So which it worked fine. We was able to do it.
So you didn't even know you didn't have.
I didn't know I didn't have steering
until we were far away from our.
I just knew it wasn't very responsive, and so I was just using the engines. So got out. Did just fine. Erica did a great job. We have the marriage savers, the little mics.
We'll show you those later so that in case you haven't bought them or know about them,
we'll tell you which ones we got. So took off, and Erica did a great job. She stayed at the bow, the front of the boat, and was helping me identify markers, which helped a bunch. And so we pulled out of the channel. We made it all the way through the channel, the Kemah channel and Clear Lakes channel, all that. Got out to the Houston channel, made it out there. We made a decision then, let's stop for just a minute. And I went down to see if I could see what was going on, because I knew by then that the steering wasn't right upstairs. But I did go downstairs in the helm, and I could steer the boat from there. So I knew steering wasn't completely out. If it was, we would have turned around right then, and probably not turned around. We'd probably sat there and called CTO or one of those to bring us in, because I don't know if I could reverse what I did going out back in with just engines. So but we had steering, so we knew it wasn't that bad of a deal. We waited for a while, and then once the sun started coming up, then we continued down the Houston Channel, and then so Erica.
No, we didn't stop really. I mean, we just went very slow.
Yeah. No, we did stop.
But I mean, it wasn't more than like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I mean,
it was a short stop. It wasn't very long.
Yeah.
So during that time, though, I realized that our inflator vests we didn't have the cartridges in them, and which we'll probably show you that too. I was trying to read the instructions, and maybe because I was flustered because of the steering and it was dark, but I was gonna put the cartridge in, and I read one deal and it said pull this lever, and
the first one he did great.
The first one worked fine, but then I got to reading, I thought maybe I did the other one wrong, so I pulled the little lever down, and I thought that kind of initiated the deal. But when I put the cartridge in, the vest went.
Yeah. The sad thing is I literally just said, "Oh well, that was easy. I probably could have done that." Because he was like,
I
wish
you would have. So anyway, that vest went.
Oh well.
And then so
luckily
I had to go
we
down.
Have other vests.
Yeah, I had to go get another vest and stuff and everything. So.
Mind you, let's cap a little bit. So this isn't like we haven't done any planning. So the last 2 weeks we have been only on the boat, just getting things ready and him rechecking everything. We've had the boat since April or a little before, somewhere around there. I know since April.
We've taken it out with Captain several times.
Yes, so it's not like we're just going out and doing this and we didn't have any idea what we're gonna do. And he has fixed lots of things on the boat, and we'll try to do some video caps on some of that because I think that's important too. I just want to kind of preface that it's not like we just got up this morning and said, hey, let's go. Like, he's really was trying all week. That's all he did was make sure that everything was ready to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, and one thing that you'll see through our deals is, we didn't go out, and we probably could have, and we looked at some boats that were in the $125,000 to $200,000 range, and we just chose not to buy one of those because it doesn't. What I've learned from a lot of boaters is you'll find out that it doesn't matter if it's a $200,000 or a $500,000 boat or a $25,000 boat or $45,000 boat. It's going to have problems. Boats are boats. So, but we decided to financially wise that if we would just find something reasonable, and we were very, very fortunate. We found this Bertram, and we'll give you the numbers. We paid $45,000 for it, but we spent quite a bit on it, getting things done and all that.
What needs to be done to get it up to
tanks in it and stuff like that we wanted to change on it and everything. So,
and we'll do a lot more on a video just about that, probably on another time, just because of time and the videos and things. But
so we'll go back to where we were sitting, and we took off, and we made it to the Houston Channel. Well, good morning. It's 4:30. This is cast-off day, and we're in Kemah. Today our route is from Kemah. We're gonna come out of Kemah. We're gonna go through Galveston Bay. Once we get to the ICW down in the inlet, we're gonna head east, and we have a 10-hour day today. So 10 hours.
He didn't sleep much last night, so
yeah,
much prayers.
So we're gonna see how this works. What could go wrong? We're gonna give it a try. So we've done everything. We've done all the oil checks. We've checked all the fluids. We went to provisioning last night.
Got groceries, in other words.
Yeah, got groceries.
Coffee.
A lot of little bitty stuff that we didn't think about until last minute, just like a little anchor to put for when we anchor out, to put off the the bottom flashlights.
And flashlights on our vest. Just
Yeah,
in
we want to
case.
make sure we have flashlights on the vest, that kind of stuff. A lot of little bitty stuff that we didn't even think about that we'll kind of go over. Things that we've experienced now and
People have taught us.
Our people's taught us. And we talked to a lot of people here in Galveston or Kemah. A lot of neat people.
Who've done this, some of it, or at least gone from here to Florida. So
yeah, so, and we've, listened to a lot of them, a lot of different things. Nothing, I figured this out is there's no one set, here's a checklist you got to have. There's some necessary things you have to have, but there's also a lot of things that make life a lot easier. And especially for her job, for docking and stuff like that. I've got some video of her learning to throw the rope, throw the tie lines to catch the cleat and everything else. So we'll share that stuff with you guys at some point, if she'll let me. She got to be quite the wrangler.
In a bigger boat, you don't think about those things. You're up pretty high, and so that was one of the things that I was a little bit scared of. I was like, how am I going to get down there so quick? Because some people jump off the boat to go do that. So, we learned some tips, and he'll show those sometime later along the way. But day 1 of the Great Loop! Yay!
Right. We'll see how it works out. See you later.
Just doing little last minute checks before we take the ropes off. He's trying to get fenders and all that kind of stuff that we don't need. Pretty dark out this morning. Getting ready to head out. We're headed out from the marina. Wes is driving from the top. getting ready to go underneath the bridge, and then after the bridge, we'll be into Houston, Galveston Channel. He's up top driving because it's hard to see in the windows. Well, we're getting ready to go by the boardwalk here in Kemah. Just went over the bridge. Did a great job. Barge up there, and so we'll navigate the barge here in just a minute.
right, so we'll go back to where we were in the bay, and I charged the life preserver, and so we had about 30 minutes that we kind of just eased that way. It was starting to get light. Still couldn't come down. I was still on the fly bridge. I couldn't come down to the helm. It was still covered. And then Erica had to come downstairs and do some stuff. So she wasn't going to be available for a couple hours. So I continued south in the Houston Channel to the ICW on the fly bridge. After a short time, I was able to come down and look that it was the dew was off the windshield and everything. So I went ahead and transferred down to the helm part.
Which by then it was like I didn't go down until about 7:40, and so sunrise is at 7:24. It came up, and like we actually had sun. About 6:30, you could see a teeny bit, and we'll show you a picture. But
yeah, so then I made it to the ICW, made the turn, first time ever in the ICW. So that was kind of interesting.
So you
lot
did
of barges.
When you went to from Galveston? No, that's different. Okay, sorry.
So
we'll talk about that on another one.
So
I wasn't with them.
It was kind of interesting. Bunch of barges. We'll have some video of that, and
a lot of traffic early in the morning.
Lots of traffic, especially right there in the Houston Channel. She didn't get the experience of that, but there was a lot of traffic, a lot of barges going both directions.
We got to see a bunch of dolphins though before.
No, there was lots of dolphins.
Yeah,
lots of
nice.
dolphins. A lot of fishermen that was there. There was shrimp. They were dragging for shrimp, which that causes the dolphins to follow the shrimp boats. And so if you're ever out there and you want to see dolphins, look for the shrimp boats that are dragging, and you'll see the dolphins. But so I continued on down to ICW. So it was shortly, probably 11 or 12ish. All of a sudden, I lost all electronics. Everything went
so crazy.
bloop, just totally went out. The chart plotter, everything went just out, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? But this was shortly after I turned the generator off. I shut the generator down so it wouldn't be running all the time, and trying to conserve diesel. Mm-hmm. And because she came up with me and was sitting there, but man, I mean, all the electronics just went out.
Thank goodness, though, you had put in something a few days before, so we had some
put in the AIS.
Okay.
I put
in a 9-volt or something.
Yeah, the AIS and everything. So, but what I had keyed up actually the radio, which is a Garmin 215 that we just installed. I had keyed it up, and it shut everything down. I mean, as soon as I keyed it up, everything went blit. So I pretty much reverted to my pilot training, and flying airplanes and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so what just happened? Do my flow, shut everything. Of course, everything was shut off. What am I not using that is still running? If there was, and nothing, but of course nothing was running. So what did I do? I shut the generator off. So I let her take the helm. She did great, because we still had the Navionics. Now we run the Garmin chart plotter, and we run an iPad, and I run my phone with Navionics, and eventually I'll probably have something other than Navionics on my phone, but I'm still trying to learn Navionics. So I had it running to where we still had some guidance. We knew where to go. We knew where the channel was at, and we stayed on that. And it was a nice clear path. There was no barges or anything else coming or going, and so I had I came downstairs, tried to start the generator, would not start. Luckily, I have a jump box that I grabbed just as
we literally the day before saw it in there in the truck, and was like, oh,
we might need that.
Yeah, thank goodness.
So I put the jump box on it. It busted off. Alarms went off everywhere. That told me, now I've got some juice. So I guess I just made the decision, what do I not need to continue on, and could we continue on? Because we was probably 4 hours from Kemah at this point.
Yeah, we were well into our journey,
Yeah, we was
so it
about
was
4
like,
hours.
do you really want to turn around? And I mean, like there wasn't as much traffic where we
Yeah.
were then.
And
We
there's
were
really
kinda,
nothing.
there you would see barges here and there, and so you kind of got to get over. But and we'll show
Yeah.
you some of those videos. But there really isn't
Yeah,
anything.
between Kemah and where we're at now, there's nothing really.
Once you do the turn.
Once you do the turn, there's nothing really. I mean, there's little sporadic places, but there's nothing for parts or anything. I mean, it's a 10-hour day.
Speaking of, which we'll kind of talk about along the way too, and I will show a picture of the map of where we went, because I know some people already had posted and said, hey, we're wanting to do the loop and we're going from like Seabrook, or we're going from here or there in Texas. And so we'll show you a picture of our map. We'll also try to share, he can share on there his map plotter, which we found you can do some of those kinds of things, which is a nice thing to do. We have a few amazing friends who we've met along the way. So I'm going to do a huge shout out to Mariana and Bob, who took some time and showed us their plots and then sent them to us for when they were in Florida. And then we had Sam Crowder, who also came, and he and his wife just did the loop back last year in October. So we had some great friends do that. And then of course Brian and Sarah, who we mentioned before, they sat down with us because he's a captain and he's done lots of excursions, had sat down with us. So we had some different ideas, but I will say there is not a lot, there's not a lot of dockings, places to slip or anchor along the way. So it's not like you're like, oh, well, no big deal, we'll just pull into this marina and get this fixed.
Yeah,
so
it's just
anyway.
It's not there.
Go ahead.
So we had it was a beautiful trip, though. I mean, there was a lot to look at, and so all day long we've seen a lot of, it's on this part right here, it's pretty much all the same. It looks all the same. helped us a lot, and just, on the Great Loop Association forum, we got a lot of information there. Waterway Guide, I read all that stuff and kind of figured out what they're doing, but there's not a lot of, between Kemah and where we left out this morning and to where we're anchoring now, which is Taylor Bayou, and it was, we averaged about 8.8 knots in the ICW, 8 knots somewhere in there, and to get to here, and it was about a 9-10 hour day just to get to where we're at tonight. And but this little deal, it's kind of off the ICW.
We are at Taylor Bayou, and there's absolutely nothing here, so that's why we're anchored out.
It's just an anchorage.
Yep, it's just an anchorage. So then we'll leave again tomorrow morning sometime, and tonight we'll kind of do a little recap about some of the things that we learned that might help you if you're going to do the Great Loop.
Yep, I've got some work to do for now though.
Yeah, unfortunately, what happened? We lost
our inverter, and I don't know what else.
Yeah, getting ready to find out. All right, we'll see you later. So we have both a front anchor and a back anchor, and another time we'll show you what that looks like, but we were encouraged to do that, which is a great idea, from another boater who had done the Great Loop. So thanks for the advice, and we'll share some other tips a little bit later.
So where we're set up now is Taylor Bayou, which it's a beautiful little spot. It's off the ICW. There's very little traffic. I think we've seen 2 or 3 little fishing boats go by. No barges, no nothing inside here, and it's very doable in a day, especially if you're doing an 8 knots. Now, if you're doing
wild boar,
we were sitting here on the back deck, and I was sitting on the back deck and just kind of taking in the area and everything, and I kept hearing something. I thought, what in the world? Got up and looked out, and there was a wild boar. We're about 6 foot from the bank, 6-8 foot from the bank, and he's just kind of milling around doing his thing. I wished I'd have thought to take pictures of him.
I did.
Oh, did you?
I have a video of it because I sent it to our grandbabies.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. So, that was kind of interesting, but really, really quiet. Very little wind. We were blessed with great weather yesterday.
No, there was good
before
wind.
That way. Today it was it wasn't that bad when we left out.
There was some good wind coming in earlier in the evening, which was nice because he opened up all the windows for us to get some air in, and that was helpful because we were trying just to, you don't need to use the generator the whole time. So. And he cooked us a wonderful dinner, and I wish I'd taken a picture of, because he had this steak. I kid you not, that was a bug that he made last night.
Come from Randall's at League City, man. That is a great, that butcher there, that guy is amazing. But literally that thick, big old steak, and it was like $11.
And I had hamburger that he made me, and it was wonderful too. Yeah. And so I wish I'd taken a picture, but we will show you what he grilled on in one of the videos along the way, because you may be interested and may not know what to buy and for your boat.
Yeah. So far that's pretty much what's happened today, and we kind of gonna get settled down here in a little bit and try to get some rest. Didn't sleep much, last night. Didn't sleep much at all. Just kind of.
He didn't sleep at all. I felt so bad. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to get some sleep tonight and see how the morning goes. I'm gonna look at my route for tomorrow. We kind of changing some things up because we need to get to someplace that I can figure out what's going on with the inverter or the battery, or figure out what's going on with that, and we'll share that with you, kind of what's happening there on the electronic side. But we're going to continue in the morning with just the way we got to here. We're feel like we're safe. We're not. We've still got the navionics, and one of the things that is good is one of my chargers on the helm side is, because this boat is 32 bolt, and it also has 12 bolt on it as well. But one of my chargers, we had to put a step down inverter or whatever it's called to put in a USB port. So it's still running on the 32 volt side, and we're able to charge our stuff with and everything. So that was kind of neat, good to have. But other than that, I think that's a pretty good recap for the day.
Yeah.
Day number 1, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I hope we get all this stuff out. Of course, as long as this thing is, we're going to have more problems, and I hope we handle them as well as I think we did today.
Yeah.
We didn't sink.
Yeah. And we didn't have a fight. We're not divorced. Yeah. It's day 1. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No,
So
lots of learning, I think, that we figured out, though, that hopefully we can share with you guys along the way. And at the same time, I think kind of what we were told this multiple times, go. When you go, things are going to happen, and you're going to learn how to navigate those, and don't be afraid of those kinds of things. I know, you know who Pumbaa is, though. While I'm sitting out here, it's kind of already gone. Yeah, there's a team. Pictures when you do steak.
Battery shop and get a very deep set.
I know he just mentioned it a little bit ago, but I'm going to mention it again. There's an AGLCA group, a Facebook group that you can get on. There is, if you become members of the association, which we did almost a year ago.
Valuable.
Yeah, it's been amazing. We even got to do a rendezvous, and I still haven't got that video up, but I promise that I will. Now that we're doing the loop, I have a lot more time on my hands. I miss the grandbabies. Oh, my grandbabies, I love you. And our babies, but
Yeah, and they have
we FaceTime them every day.
they have big rendezvous. That's kind of our only timeline. Well, there's 2 of them. One, we want to be in Tampa area, definitely around
before Christmas,
and that way we can fly home, and then we're going to fly back. And then the association has a big rendezvous, which if Kemah's watching this, we find out today that if we got slipped at that rendezvous for the crawl, and that's the crawls where they come in and look at your boat and everything, and we'll find out that today, and if not, we'll still go to the rendezvous, but that'll be in January.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our 2 timelines and things that we know where we have to be, and they're far enough out that man, we can almost sea tow all the way there if we needed to get there in that time frame, but we'll be there. Oh, we're not.
Okay, good.
But no. I'm just saying, that's the big thing with this
Yeah.
is I figured out is don't have a timeline, a hard and fast timeline, because things happen, always. So don't have a timeline. But the big thing, and she kind of touched on it, was I was very anxious about taking off, and we even looked at hiring a professional captain that we'd hired a couple before, and to come with us to
captain, even said, "Don't worry about it, you got this."
Yeah, he kept saying, "You got this. Don't just do it. Just toss your lines off the dock and take off and go." And
of course, maybe they were tired of us. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's most of them guys charge $500 a day.
Yeah.
And you have to provide all the provisions, and then whenever you get to where you're getting, it's standard, and then you have to provide them a way back to the home, if that's fly or rent them a car or
that was
whatever.
Friends of ours, so I don't know how much other.
It's
people.
$500 a day.
Oh, okay.
Generally, that's pretty much the standard.
I'm teasing.
But but the biggest thing is just chunk the lines off and be safe and have a plan. And you can't plan for everything, but we got through the first day. So day 1 we're done, and hopefully tomorrow will be good. And we'll see.
And if you haven't, please go on and follow us and like us. I know that they say that helps our subscription stuff, so other people will see that, and hopefully that'll help other people. So again, we are WarriorHeart Travels. Our boat is Okie Dokie. Yes, we do have Nebo. Some people have asked that. If you want to follow us, we are on Okie Dokie is our Nebo, right?
Yeah, and I had to figure out how to share that little link where if you want to follow us.
Yeah,
I got to figure that out.
There's a few things we still got to figure out, and then also, if you haven't figured out and found your boat, you can look at our other boats that we looked at on some of the previous videos. So that's it for day 1, and we'll see you next time.